Welcome back to your English class. Ishwaran, the Storyteller. Name of the chapter written by R.K. Lakshman. As we have already started the chapter, even half has been done. And here, now I want to mention one night Mahendra woke up from his sleep and saw a dark, cloudy form. He broke out into a cold sweat. Was it a ghost? Was it a ghost? We were in the chapter at the same context. Mahendra is a person here who worked in a company, and company used to appoint him, send him to far off places where the construction work is going on. It can be bridges, it can be dams. He has to go, even he has to go to the remote places where the amenities or the basic facilities were not available. He is not married here in the chapter. He has nothing, not many things, but one asset he is having in the chapter is his cook Ishwaran, the most perfect man for him. Like, he used to do everything for him, cook food out of available very less ingredients, even find out ingredients anyhow. Used to prepare food, used to wash his cloth, clean the room, clean the house, and whenever he moved anywhere, he used to accompany him. Used to adjust in any of the condition. One more quality he was having, the quality of storytelling with modulation in voice, intonation, perfect gestures, and like things. So here, after meal, he used to tell the story regularly. And how he come to know about the stories? He used to read Tamil literature, rich Tamil literature. So from there, he took some stories and imagine himself, create his own stories. It made bound the Mahendra that he keeps on listening his stories. He told about many stories. One of the story of elephant has been mentioned here. And then Mahendra was very much afraid of ghosts. At last, when he have taken permission to make delicious food or special dishes as to worship or as to celebrate the day which was devoted to the forefathers or the soul or the spirits of ancestors. After taking the delicious meal, sudden off, Ishwaran started telling him something. What? That this area where we are occupying once a burial ground. Okay, he was really afraid because Mahendra don't like such things. He told more things about him, but sudden off he got jerked. He got jerked and shouted on Ishwar. Mahendra shouted on Ishwar, but anyhow he managed. He thought now he will not talk to him. He would not talk to him, but next day he was normal. But what happened at night? How Mahendra survived? Here, the second paragraph we have done, but still we'll begin from here. Mahendra shivered at the description and interrupted rather sharply. You are crazy, Ishwaran. There are no such things as ghosts or spirits. It is all figment of your imagination. Okay? Figment of your imagination. Get your digestive system examined. And your mind too. Maybe your head as well. You are talking nonsense. Okay? You are talking nonsense. This we have done, that when he heard the story of ghosts of a woman, then he just feared, afraid, or you can say just angry on him by saying, go and do the examination of your body, the test of your body. Your digestive system is not working properly, that's why you're talking such silly things, because I don't believe that any ghost survive in the world. I don't believe in such things. He said so, but he couldn't make him sleep the whole night. Okay. Next, he left the room and retired for the night, expecting Ishwaran to sulk for a couple of days. But the next morning he was surprised to find the cook as cheerful and talkative as ever. From that day on, Mahindra, for all his brave talk, went to bed with a certain unease. Every night he peered into the darkness outside through the window next to his bed, tried to make sure that there was no movement of dark shapes in the vicinity local area, but he could only see a sea of darkness with the twinkling lights of the factory miles away. See a sea. Similar sound, different spelling, different meaning words. Okay. So what? Mahindra showed that he was very brave. But on the contrary, in opposite to that, he was uneasy. At that night, he was unable to go to sleep because he thought and he was afraid of ghosts. He just peered out of the window, but he saw nothing, only darkness and twinkling lights of the factory. He had always liked to admire the milk white landscape on full moon nights. But after hearing Ishwaran's story of the female ghosts, he avoided looking out of his window altogether when the moon was full. Normally he liked the sight, even everyone like when there is full moon night and we can say moonlight is there, it really beautiful. He liked that before listening that story, but when he heard that story, then he just left to go out. When he just listened about the female ghost haunted place, he stopped looking out. Not only going out, he even stopped looking out on that night as he was afraid bumping into the ugly ghost. Now what happened next? Coming to the text. One night, Mahindra was woken up from his sleep by a low moan close to his window. At first, he put it down to a cat prowling around for mice. But the sound was too guttural for a cat. He resisted the curiosity to look out lest he should behold a sight which would stop his heart. But the wailing became louder and less feline. He could not resist the temptation anymore. Lowering himself to the level of the window sill, he looked out at the white sheet of moonlight outside. There, not too far away, was a dark, cloudy form clutching a bundle. Mahindra broke into a cold sweat and fell back on the pillow, panting. As he gradually recovered from the ghastly experience, he began to reason by himself and finally concluded that it must have been some sort of auto-suggestion, some trick that his subconscious had played on him. What happened one night? Here is a description. Moan is crying sound. Moan, crying sound. Okay. Prowling, searching. What happened? One night Mahindra was broken up from his sleep. Mahindra was woken up from his sleep by a low moan. When he was sleeping, he was awoken by the sound of someone crying. At first, he put it down to a cat prowling around for mice. First, he thought that a sound is from a cat who's looking, prowling, searching, looking for mice, and tried to go back to sleep. But the sound was too guttural for a cat. Okay, but sound became more harsh and seemed guttural. Sound produced in the throat, harsh sound, and it became so harsh and seemed to be a human sound. And seemed to be a human sound. He resisted the curiosity to look out lest he should behold a sight which would stop his heart. Now he wanted to peep out of the window, but stopped himself. He resisted the curiosity to look out. He wanted to. Okay. Lest he should behold a sight which would stop his heart. He wanted to peep out of the window, but stopped himself, as he was afraid that if he saw a ghost, he could even die. Okay? He could even die. Now, but the wailing became louder and less feline. Wailing? Crying sound. But the crying sound became louder, and it did not appear to be the sound of cat. He could not resist the temptation anymore. He could not stop himself. And so, lowering himself, bent down. Lowering himself to the level of windowsill, he looked out at the white sheet of moonlight outside. Lowering himself, Mahendra bent down and lifted his head slightly to peep out. There he looked out at the white sheet of moonlight outside. See, moonlight, white sheet of moonlight. Moonlight is compared to the white sheet, showing as a white sheet that there is all around white. So, in white colored moonlight, Mahendra saw the ghost. There, not too far away, was a dark, cloudy form clutching a bundle. He saw a ghost. He thought that something is there, and it is ghost. Mahendra broke out into a cold sweat and fell back on the pillow. On the pillow means on the bed. Mahendra panicked, became fearful, and he was breathing heavily and fell back on the bed. Panting, lying. As he gradually recovered from the ghastly experience, he began to reason with himself and finally concluded. As he gradually recovered, after some time, when he recovered from the scary experience and thought that console himself, find out the reason, told himself that it must have been some sort of auto-suggestion. Some trick that his subconscious had played on him. Means he assured him that actually there was no ghost and mind was playing a trick on him. So see how nicely he consoled himself. How nicely he assured himself that there was no ghost. I haven't seen anything. It was some image or something else. Next paragraph, by the time. By the time he had got up in the morning, had a bath, and came out to have his breakfast, the horror of the previous night had faded from his memory. Okay? When he woke up in the next morning, he regularly used to take bath. So he did the same, took his bath, came out for the breakfast. And even he had forgotten everything. What had happened last night. It was not, at that time it was not in his mind. Ishwaran greeted him at the door with his lunch packet and his bag. Ishwaran greeted him, wished him, and gave him his lunch and his bag as he was going for the office. Just as Mahendra was stepping out, Ishwaran smiled, as he just about to leave. Then he smiled and said that the other day. What he said? Sir, remember the day when I was telling you about the female ghost with a fetus in its arms? You were so angry with me for imagining things. Well, you saw her yourself last night. I came running hearing the sound of moaning that was coming from your room. See, what was the condition? As Mahendra was about to leave, Ishwaran smiled and said that the other day Mahendra had scolded him for discussing the ghost, the female ghost, having fetus, having an unborn baby in the hand. But last night he himself, Mahendra himself saw it. And Ishwaran told that Ishwaran had heard Mahendra's cries the last night. He knew everything. He heard it. A chill went down Mahendra's spine. He did not wait for Ishwaran to complete his sentence. He hurried away to his office and handed in his paper, resolving to leave the haunted place the very next day. Spine, backbone. Resolving, deciding. Hands his paper, resign. Handed his papers, resign. A chill went down. Now see how much afraid was he, how he passed his night, and he just assured himself that there was nothing. It was just imagination. It was just his doubt of mind, just some unconsciousness, just some trick that the mind was playing. But in the morning, when the Ishwaran greeted him and told him that no, when I told you na this about the female ghost, you have seen that. This comment of Ishwaran scared Mahendra once again. He even didn't hear him further, not a sentence more, and hurried off to his office. He decided to resign from the job and decided to leave the haunted place. He could not live there any longer. He could not live there any longer. The story written by R.K. Lakshman. Ishwaran, the storyteller. Title justifies? Do you think?